being taken care of. Thomas will step into the box for New Diana. Trimble starts him with an off-speed pitch. It's going to be popped up on the infield. Patterson over at second. Drifts over to make the grab. One pitch, one out. That'll bring up senior Logan Simmons. Eagles have 5 seniors in the lineup today. Thomas, Simmons, Newland, Foreman as that ball's lifted out into right field. Braden Phillips moves back, makes the grab. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Harmony Eagles are, of course, coached by Mr. Cody Whitworth. Whitworth was at New Diana last year. Came over to Harmony to take the head coaching job. As the New Diana backstop, Jacob Newland steps in. First pitch from Trimble. It's going to be taken high for a ball. 1-0. Newland steps back in. Trimble from the wind. Misses low and away, ball 2. Catcher for the Harmony Eagles is Braxton Baker. Very large young man. Probably 6'4", 250, I would guess. Does play is an outstanding offensive lineman for the Harmony Eagles as Newland takes ball 3. The 3-0. Trimble fires one in there. 3 balls and a strike now. 2 outs, top of the first, just getting underway. Jacob Newland at the plate. Ollie Trimble is a freshman for these Harmony Eagles. The 3-1. It's going to be a slow roller out to the shortstop, Boston Seahorn. Seahorn fields it, fires over to first as Newland trips over the bag and does a little tumble for the 3rd out of the top of the first. So the Eagles go 3 up, 3 down, going to the bottom of the first inning. Your score, New Diana 0, Harmony coming up. Bottom of the first inning, after Trimble sits the New Diana Eagles down 1-2-3, Harmony will be led off by their shortstop, Boston Seahorn. He'll be followed by Tucker Tittle and Riley Patterson for the first 3 for Harmony. On the mound for New Diana is number 14, Ivan Benoit. Jacob Newland takes care of the catching duties. Around the infield, got Foreman at first. Thomas at second, Simmons at short. Kearns at third. Outfield left to right. Green, Sherman, Brewer. As Seahorn steps in. First pitch from Benoit. It's going to be lined right back at Benoit. Snags it for the first out of the inning. That came was a rifle right back at Benoit, right at the belt. Was able to make the grab. It's always a danger in these ball games with these pitchers. You get a line drive back in the box screaming at you at 100 miles an hour as Tittle takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Tittle will bat from the right side. Benoit kicks and fires. It's going to be popped up. It's going to be shallow right field. Brewer's going to come in and make the catch in front of Thomas as he was moving out from his position at second base. So 3 pitches, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Riley Patterson. Patterson, also a big young man. Not as big as Baker, but he's big. First pitch from Benoit, misses low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Eagle defense is playing straight away. Only variation is Cole Sherman is shaded toward the pull side for the right-handed hitter of center field. The 1-0 cut on and missed. That'll even it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coach Whitworth has some encouraging words for Patterson down in the third base box. Benoit steps, kicks, fires. Going to be a real slow whirler. Fielded by Benoit, flipped over to Foreman. And that'll take care of Harmony in the bottom of the first. So after 1, both teams go 3 up, 3 down. Going to the top of the second inning, your score, 2-0. Harmony, 0. Top of the second inning as Ollie Trimble, freshman for Harmony, finishes up his warm-up tosses. Baker fires down to Seahorn covering the bag at second. Eagles are going to be led off by their third baseman, Austin Kearns. Kearns got the win in the ball game Tuesday night as he was still the pitcher to record as the Eagles took the lead 9-7 in the top of the 7th. Logan Simmons came in for the save in that ball game. Trimble's first pitch is going to be lifted out into left field. Phillips moves over to his left, makes the grab. So again, 1 pitch, 1 out. That's the third fly out or pop up for the Eagles through the first 4 hitters, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Elliott Foreman. Foreman stares up at his bat, steps into the box, drops the bat head on the plate. Trimble's first pitch is going to be flown out to center field. Tucker Tittle comes in, makes the grab. So for the second consecutive inning, we've got 2 pitches, 2 outs. That'll bring up the new Diana center fielder, junior Cole Sherman. As we mentioned earlier, Sherman had the go-ahead hit. Effectively the walk-off if we'd been the home team, but put the Eagles ahead for good on Tuesday night against the Marshall Mavericks. It's going to be popped up. It's going to be shallow left field. Looks like it's going to fall for a hit as Phillips is playing very deep, probably 20 or 25 feet off the fence, and I think ball went a little bit deeper than Seahorn thought it might. as he gave chase. So it's going to be the first hit of the ball game. As with 2 outs, it's going to bring up the right fielder, Peyton Brewer. Sherman takes his lead away from first after putting on his oven mitt. Trimble gives him 2 looks over his left shoulder. Throws a strike on the outside corner, taken for an 0-1 count. The 0-1. Sherman takes off. Baker fires down. Going to get him in plenty of time. That's caught stealing, is going to end the inning for the Eagles, the New Diana Eagles. 1 hit, no runs, no men left. Going to the bottom of the second, your score, New Diana 0, Harmony 0. Bottom of the second inning, Harmony will be led off by their big catcher, number 17, Braxton Baker. Might have been a little conservative with the 250 estimate, but looks like we got a little uniform adjustment that Sherman needed to make there. Just coming out of the dugout now. He'll take his place in center field. Ollie Trimble's needed just 11 pitches to get through the New Diana lineup in the first 2 innings, as he's retired them 3 up, 3 down, courtesy of the caught stealing. As that Benoit is going to bounce that first offering in, ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. Benoit needed 6 pitches in his bottom half of the first, as Baker's going to take low 2-0. The 2-0. Cut on and missed. Strike 1. Two balls, 1 strike. It's going to be popped back behind the bleachers here on the first base side. That'll even the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Braxton Baker. Baker steps back into the box. Benoit working from the wind. Baker holds his hand up for time. Umpire grants it. I've seen the umpires be pretty lenient on that this year. I believe there's only been one time the batters asked for time, and it hasn't been granted. As that pitch is going to be inside. Ball 3, fill it up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not only is that it's our second 3-ball count, it's our first count to actually get to 5 pitches. That ball's going to be hit. It's going to be a single over the third baseman, Austin Kearns, out into left field. Green fields it, fires it back in to Simmons. So Harmony has the leadoff man on. We will have a courtesy runner for Baker. And that's going to bring up the left-hander, first baseman, number 14, Landon Wilkerson. As Benoit checks the runner. First pitch is high to Wilkerson, ball one. Courtesy runner is going to be number 13, Brady Hill, for Harmony. The 1-0. On the outside corner, looked at for strike one. One ball and a strike. Nobody out, bottom of the second inning. Scores all tied. Looks like the Eagles are going to have the shift on here as the outfield is shifted around to the pull side for the left-handed hitter, which would be the right field side. Kearns is well off the bag at third base. Simmons is playing probably 10 feet to the shortstop side of second base, and Thomas is in his typical second baseman position. That fastball is going to be cut on and missed. Benoit ahead in the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hill takes his lead away from first. Benoit kicks and fires, misses low, ball 2. 2-2. Going to be a quick throw over. It's going to tip off of Foreman's glove. It's going to go all the way to the turf. Hill stops at second, doesn't round to go to third. Don't think he would have been able to make it anyway, but throw was high and kind of toward the right field side of the bag, so Foreman had to try to lean up to catch it and just tipped off to the top of his glove and rolled out into foul territory. So Harmony has their first man in scoring position with a 2-2 count. That's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Eagles looking to get the first out of the inning here. Benoit comes set, checks the runner at second, misses wide. Ball 4. So the error on the throw over at first base. There's no harm as of right now, as that's going to bring up right fielder Blaine Hart. Coach Whitworth down there at third base. A little upset that Hart didn't. He just stepped right in the box instead of looking down for his signs. Foreman will play in on the grass. Kearns is even with the bag at third. He's going to square to bunt. Ball's going to be low. Good block by Newland as Newland's going to go out and have a word with Benoit. This was the Eagles' issue on Tuesday night. Issue being walks, that is. Inability to hit the strike zone. Hart squares again. This time's going to kind of stab at the ball and foul it back to the screen. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. Harmony Eagles have runners on first and second after a leadoff single by Braxton Baker. That was followed by a walk to Landon Wilkerson. Blaine Hart at the plate. As Foreman's well in on the grass now, fully expecting the bunt. As Hart squares, Benoit turns to force Hill back to second base. So everybody will reset, and we'll do it again. Hart squares. Ball drops harmlessly foul down the first base line. 1-2. Coach Whitworth relays the signs from his third base box. Everybody has their instructions. Runners take their leads. Foreman moves back just in front of the runner at first. The 1-2. Cut on and miss. Strike 3. It's a much-needed strike out there for Benoit for the first out of the inning as he sets Hart down. That'll bring up the third baseman, who's also DHing for himself today, Aiden Tranholt. Tranholt bats from the right side. Harmony is in their red jerseys, have Eagles written in white across the front, pinstriped black pants. As that ball's going to be lined out into left field, Green charging. Not going to be a play at home as Hill is going to stop at third base. So for the second hit of the game for Harmony, Tranholt takes his spot at first base, and the other two runners move up 90 feet. So the bases will be loaded for the number 8 hitter, the freshman, Ollie Trimble. Long look in by Benoit. Kicks and fires. Strike one. No balls, one strike, one out. Bottom of the second, Harmony has the bases loaded as Trimble cuts and misses at that ball is well outside. No balls and 2 strikes. See if Benoit can strike Trimble out here for the second out of the inning. The 0-2. It's going to be popped up, out of play. Right back here in the stands. Counter remain, no balls, 2 strikes. Trimble back in the box. The 0-2. Fastball fouled back. Quick step by Benoit now. It's going to be a line drive out into the gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Looks like it's going to score at least 2. And they're going to get a rundown with the runner that was rounding third base. As Trimble's going to get down to second base. So that's going to be the second out of the inning. But the freshman hurler delivers with a 1 out, 2 RBI double out into left center field. That's the Harmony's third hit of the inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Braden Phillips. First pitch cut on and missed, strike one. That was Tranholt that was caught in the run down there. The 0-1, cut on and missed, strike 2. Eagles did a good job of relaying the ball into third base instead of home there, where Tranholt had rounded the bag and Whitworth had the stop sign up. And Tranholt was going to try to get back, but Kearns was waiting on him. Eventually was forced out by Newland. The 0-2. It's going to be inside, ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second as the Harmony Eagles lead the New Diana Eagles 2-0. The 1-2, cut on and missed for strike 3. So Benoit sets Phillips down, but not before the Harmony Eagles score 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, 1 man left. Going to the top of the third, your score, Harmony 2, New Diana 0. Top of the third inning, New Diana will be led off by their senior right fielder, Peyton Brewer. Brewer was at the plate with a 1-0 count last inning when Cole Sherman was caught stealing second after his two-out single. So Brewer will get a fresh count here in the top of the third. Harmony leads New Diana 2-0 as we're playing in the first game of the Mount Pleasant tournament here in Mount Pleasant, Texas. Ollie Trimble delivers his 12th pitch of the ball game. It's going to float in there high, ball one. Trimble had the one-out double in the bottom half of the second inning to put the Harmony Eagles ahead. As Brewer's going to take another ball, high and away, 2-0. It's going to be 3-0 as Brewer dodges that pitch. Trimble kicks and fires. It's going to be strike one. So 3 balls and 1 strike on Brewer. It's going to be ball 4 low. So New Diana will have the leadoff man on, courtesy of the free pass. That'll bring out the pitcher, Ivan Benoit. Coach Martinez relays his signs from the third base box. Trimble will now pitch from the stretch. As Benoit squares to bunt, it's going to bunt it right back at Trimble. Be an easy play at first for the sacrifice as Brewer moves down to second base. That'll bring up the left fielder, Levi Green. Green steps in, of course, bats from the left side. Brewer with a lead out at second base. Seahorn plays behind him at short. It's going to miss low and away. Ball one. Ball briefly got away from Braxton Baker there, but not far enough for Brewer to do anything. The 1-0. Going to be popped down the third baseline. It's going to be a long run for Phillips. Might hang up long enough. Young man's not able to see it. He was trying to. Looks like the sun has popped out behind us here, behind the press box. May have got the sun in his eyes a little bit, so it'll just be a long strike for Green. As the sun does Green a little bit of favors there. One ball, one strike, 1 out. New Diana threatening after a leadoff walk. Was moved over on a sacrifice for Brewer. Green takes high, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. It's going to be lined over the shortstop. So it's going to be a single, going to go all the way to the wall. So that's going to score Brewer easily as Green rounds first, headed into second. Pulls up with a 1-out stand-up double. Great piece of hitting there by Green. And the Eagles have got the lead to 2-1. That'll take us back to the top of the lineup with senior second baseman Hayden Thomas. Thomas popped out to second his first time. Looks like Green's going to be held on by the second baseman as the second baseman now bounces back to his spot. Thomas, first pitch swinging, is going to foul it back. No balls, 1 strike. Trimble comes set. The 0-1 is going to be grounded fair down the third baseline. That's going to score Green as he touches third, comes home. Thomas digging for second, slides in head first with back-to-back doubles. And New Diana has tied the ball game at 2 as Hayden Thomas follows Levi Green's one-out RBI double with an RBI double of his own. It'll bring up Logan Simmons. Simmons flew out to Phillips in left field his first time. See if he can trade places with Thomas. It's going to be a slow bender in there by Trimble. 0-1. Good take there by Simmons. Once again, not a lot you can do with a first pitch curveball if it's in there for a strike. The 0-1. Thomas takes off for third. Baker fires down. Thomas with an excellent slide. Slid to the outfield side of the bag and rolled his body so in order to avoid the tag and is safe on the stolen base. Tremendous effort there. If he just slid in just normally at the front of the bag instead of the back of the bag and hadn't rolled his body, I believe they'd have got him. So, great piece of base running. It's going to be a line shot out to center field. Tucker Tittle giving chase. It's going to bounce. Thomas had to hold up, but will score easily. And the Eagles have taken the lead with their third run of the inning. Third consecutive hit by New Diana as well. That's going to bring up Jacob Newland with one out here in the top of the third. New Diana leads Harmony 3-2 now. Simmons putting his oven mitt on over there at first base. See if Newland can keep the rally going. Simmons takes his lead. Now bounces to second. Gets back to first. It's going to be a pitch called on the outside corner for strike one. So Trimble ahead in the count. No balls and a strike. Newland rolled over to the shortstop his first time to end the top of the first. Newland calls timeout. Steps out of the box and everybody resets. No balls, one strike, one out, top of the third. See if the senior catcher can do some damage here. Simmons takes off. Newland holds up, doesn't swing. Throw's going to be down, but not in time. That'll be the second stolen base of the inning for New Diana. As Simmons is in scoring position now. See if Newland at minimum can get him moved to third base. Have the third baseman Austin Kearns up next. Trimble delivers the 1-1. It's going to be flown out to right field. Falls just in front of the right fielder and in the outstretched arm of the second baseman there. So that'll be the fourth consecutive hit, and that'll require a mound visit from Coach Whitworth here. As the New Diana Eagles will have runners at first and third. And their third baseman, Austin Kearns, up. Can't imagine we'll have a pitching change here, so we'll stay with you. Brewer led off this inning, walked. He was followed by Benoit, who had a sacrifice bunt, so far the only out in the inning. He was followed with the Brewer at second base. Levi Green came up, hit a one-out RBI double, scoring Brewer. Thomas followed him, had a double of his own, had an RBI double of his own, and then stole third base. And then Simmons and Newland both had back-to-back singles for the third and fourth hits of the inning here for New Diana, as Baker slowly makes his way back behind home plate. Well, up junior, number 11, Austin Kearns. As we have a courtesy runner at first base, Trent Pepper will come in and run for Newland. Trimble checks his runners at first and third. Pepper bounces towards second. Now takes a secondary. It's going to be a ball low. 1-0. It's exactly what the Eagles needed, some production out of the 7 through 9 spots. We get that part of the order working, we're going to be in business. The 1-0 catches the outside corner for strike one. That'll even it up. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Kern steps back into the box, drags the bat head across home plate. Trimble comes set. Got a quick throw over. Ball's going to get away from the first baseman, Wilkerson. Probably got far enough away, but Simmons was headed back to the bag with the throw, with the pickoff attempt. It was headed back instead of taking a secondary to watch the ball dribble away. So runners will stay at the corners. Good job by Pepper there, drawing the throw, though. Try to put a little pressure on the freshman. That's going to be a ball high as Baker fakes a back pick down to first. Pepper's back in time. 2 balls and a strike on Kearns with 1 out here in the top of the third. Eagles, New Diana Eagles, that is, lead 3-2. Another quick throw over. The 2-1. Big hops there by Pepper now at first, as Kearns sits on it but fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trimble's probably throwing low 60s, I would say, maybe high 50s. The 2-2. It's going to be flared foul down the first base line. We'll reset and do it again. After needing just 11 pitches to get through the first 2 innings, this will be Trimble's 37th pitch of the ball game. It's 26th pitch of the inning. Another pickoff attempt of Pepper. As Braxton Baker calls timeout, it's going to go out and have a word with his hurler. The Eagles have scored 3 runs in this inning. Brewers scored, Green scored, Thomas has scored. The Eagles also have 2 stolen bases. As Kearns is back in the box now, ready to pick it back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. New Diana still has runners at the corners. That's going to be a ball in the dirt. That'll fill it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's the first full count for Trimble. Harmony infield's a double play depth. The third baseman in on the grass as Trimble does a fake to first, fake to third, spin to first. Get the runners back. The 3-2 to Kearns. Going to be a hard ground ball foul. As Coach Martinez tries to backhand it, it's going to bounce off his hand and into the screen. So good at bat by Kearns. This will be the 8th pitch of the at bat. As he bats her with 1 out in the top of the third. Waits on that one, sends it out into left field. Phillips has it. Simmons tags, will score easily. That'll be an RBI sacrifice fly for Austin Kearns. And the Eagles extend their lead to 4-2. It's going to bring up Elliott Foreman. Foreman hit the first pitch he saw out to center field back in the second inning. It was caught by Tittle out there. That one's going to be hit out to center field. Tittle moving over to his right makes the grab. That'll retire the Eagles. That'll retire the New Diana Eagles here in the top of the third, but not before they get 4 runs on 4 consecutive hits. Sacrifice fly, a couple of stolen bases. Going to the bottom of the third inning, your score. New Diana, 4. Harmony, 2. Bottom of the third inning is going to be led off by Boston Seahorn. Seahorn hit a line drive on the first pitch he saw right back at Benoit to lead off the bottom of the first. First pitch swinging again. It's going to be deep in the hole at short. Simmons has it. Throws over to first, but not in time to catch the speedy Seahorn. So in an infield single, Boston Seahorn represents the leadoff man on for the Harmony Eagles. That'll bring up their center fielder, Tucker Tittle. As Tittle steps out, checks third base for his signs. Seahorn, a football standout for Harmony this season, as the Harmony Eagles made it all the way to the regional finals in football. It's going to be a balk on Benoit. Didn't really see what caused that balk, but it is going to be the first balk of the season for the Eagles. So Seahorn in scoring position. Tittle swings, going to single out into left field. Whitworth's waving Seahorn around. He'll score easily, as the ball's going to get past Thomas at second. So Harmony storms back with back-to-back singles in the bottom of the third to score 1 run. New Diana now leads 4-3. That'll bring up the second baseman, Riley Patterson. Takes off. Newland with the throw down. One hop shortstop, not able to be handled by Simmons. Would have had him if he was able to corral it. Throw did beat him by about 3 or 4 feet, but ball glanced off of Simmons' glove, and Thomas backed it up. So, be a stolen base for Tittle. As Patterson cuts and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Nobody out, bottom of the third. Harmony's already pushed across 1, trail New Diana 4-3. Threatening again. So that ball's going to be blocked by Newland. 2-1. As Thomas is going to hold the runner at second. Simmons is deep in the hole at short. It's going to be just a little nubber. Benoit fields it down the first baseline, flips to Foreman. Foreman's barehands it for the first out of the inning. Patterson does get the runner to third, though, so with less than 2 outs, Harmony has a runner 90 feet away. Braxton Baker will step in. Baker led off the bottom of the last inning with a leadoff single. His courtesy runner scored a run as he takes a strike right down the middle, 0-1. Effectively, Patterson had a swinging bunt down the third baseline. That ball's going to be lifted out to Levi Green in left field. Green's moving back at the wall, reaches up, does make the catch. Excellent job by Green there just to make the catch. And Tittle's going to score easily as Baker will have a RBI sacrifice fly of his own for the second out of the inning. And your score is all tied at 4. So with nobody on, that'll bring up the first baseman, Landon Wilkerson. Wilkerson walked and scored a run his first time as he's going to foul that one well out of play down the first baseline for a long strike. That was a great catch by Green. He read the ball off the bat very well, turned and ran and caught the ball over his right shoulder. As Benoit misses outside, even the count 1-1 Those are the types of plays that we need to see out of our outfield. Excellent job. It's going to be a ground ball over to Foreman at first. Foreman fields it. Will take it himself to force Wilkerson out for the final out of the inning. But Harmony gets two of the 4 runs back that they relinquished in the top half of the inning. So at the end of 3, ball game's all tied, 4 apiece. As Ollie Trimble comes out to begin his 4th inning of work for the Harmony Eagles here in the top of the 4th. New Diana and Harmony all square at 4. Eagles will be led off by their center fielder, Cole Sherman. Sherman singled and was caught stealing back in the second. Trimble drops a breaking ball in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike. As Sherman's front toes are right on the inside chalk in the right-handed batter's box. Takes the ball inside. 1-1. The 1-1. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike now on Sherman. As the sun is beginning to creep out here, as it's a mostly overcast day. Very pleasant, though. As Sherman's going to hit that ball out to left center field. Phillips giving chase. It's going to one-hop the wall. Sherman rounds first, headed into second. Throw will come into second. And Sherman leads off the New Diana Eagles with a double. The hot bat continues for the junior. That'll bring up the right fielder, Peyton Brewer. That ball carried and carried and carried I didn't think it was especially that hard hit, but I was obviously wrong as it bounced on the warning track and hit the wall. So Sherman just made it look so smooth. Trimble's first pitch to Brewer misses away, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth as Sherman led us off with the double. Trimble comes set. Brewer swings his bat. Misses low and away. Ball two. The 2-0. As Baker asks Trimble to step off. Brewer will step out of the box, now back in. Just his batting helmet. Holds his bat up. Makes those classic circles with it. The 2-0. It's going to be popped up. Looks like the third baseman may have a play. It's going over to the dugout, just inside the Eagle dugout. Just out of his reach, so Brewer fortunate there. 2 balls and a strike. As Tranholt gave a good effort on that, but just out of his reach. Two balls, 1 strike. Trimble checks Sherman at second. Now steps off again. Sherman bounces toward third, now back to second. As that breaking ball is going to, or change up, it's going to fool Brewer there as he flails at it, but nothing doing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's why they give you 3 strikes. See if Brewer can get Sherman moved over to third here. The Eagles can try to regain the lead as the second baseman Wilkerson comes in. It's going to be a balk by Trimble. This young man just got a little nervous there. That's why the Eagles do that, by the way. They bounce back and forth to try to get the timing of the pitcher and also to try to throw the pitcher's rhythm off. So after not seeing a balk all year, we've seen 2 in back-to-back innings. As Brewer waits on that, it's going to foul it harmlessly down the third baseline. Counter remain, 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the right fielder. Third baseman's in on the grass at third. Rest of the infield's very deep, so obviously giving up the run. Brewer not able to make contact there as he cuts and misses for strike 3. That's first out of the inning. It'll bring up the pitcher, Ivan Benoit. Benoit laid down a picture-perfect sacrifice bunt his first time. As he'll try to get Sherman home as it's less than 90 feet away. It's going to be a line drive up to the second baseman. It's going to go under his glove. Will be E4. That'll allow Sherman to score on the RBI by Benoit. We'll have a courtesy runner for Benoit. Looks like it's going to be number 8, Landon Hawley, coming out to run. Nothing exceptional about the hit to second base there. Just didn't get his glove down. Went right underneath it. That'll bring up the left fielder, Levi Green. Levi Green had a huge contribution in the top half and the bottom half of the last inning, as he takes a ball from Trimble. 1-0. Green had a 1-out RBI double and scored a run in the top half and then made an excellent over-the-shoulder catch out in left field right in front of the fence to retire Braxton Baker as he's going to have a single here as Holly's going to have to hustle as he held up just for a second there so that the ball could pass, but right fielder comes in. So Green will be 2 for 2 on the day. And the Eagles have runners at first and second. Back to the top of the order with second baseman Hayden Thomas. Thomas doubled in the last inning. Stole a base and scored a run. It's also popped out to second. Thomas takes away ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. As the second baseman moves over to cover, now retreats back to his position. The pitch from Trimble is going to miss, slow and away, ball 2. We're on the top of the 4th inning. New Diana leads Harmony 5-4. After the Harmony Eagles tied it up in the bottom half of the 3rd, Eagles have taken the lead again here in the top half of the 4th. The 2-0 to Thomas. It's going to be high for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. As the first baseman Wilkerson now is in on the grass. And Tranholt in his third base position's in on the grass as well. So the corners are in. Thomas is going to take high for ball 4. So that'll be a 4-pitch walk issued by Trimble. That'll load the bases for New Diana. Let's see if we have a visit from the Harmony dugout here. Not going to, as it's going to bring up the Eagle shortstop, Logan Simmons. Simmons is 1 for 2, had a single. Had a single and scored a run, had an RBI single. Scored a run, stole a bases last time. It's also flown out to left field. That Trimble off speed pitch is going to float in high for ball 1. That's the 6th consecutive ball that Trimble has thrown to the last 3 Eagle hitters. The 1-0. Low as Thomas got a pretty good lead there. They're going to pick him off. Heads up play there by Baker. Not sure how that happens, but Thomas caught leaning or napping over at first base. Baker backpicked him for the second out of the inning. So the Eagles will have runners on second and third. The pitch from Trimble. Floats it in there for a strike. Looked to be a good curveball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Simmons. Simmons can find a way here. Newland will be on deck. Newland is on deck. And getting picked off. That's just a rally killer. The 1-2. That's a hard hit ball out to Phillips. Looks like it's going to fall in front of him. Holly went back to third base. Not really sure why, but is going to manage to score easily as Green almost catches him. I think the sophomore just didn't quite read the ball there, didn't realize it was going to be down. But the Eagles will push across their second run of the inning, now lead 6-4. As Simmons has another RBI single in the ball game. That'll bring up Jacob Newland. Newland's 1 for 2. Grounded out to the shortstop and singled his last time. Runners on first and third. Outfield is playing deep. First pitch swing is going to be fly ball lifted out to left field. It's going to be an out. So the Eagles are retired, not before they score 2 runs on 3 hits. Going to the bottom of the fourth, your score, New Diana 6, Harmony 4. The bottom of the fourth inning, New Diana leads Harmony 6-4. As Benoit remains on the hill for the Eagles. Harmony will be led off by number 8, their right fielder, Blaine Hart. Hart went down on strikes his last time. First pitch misses low and away, ball 1. The 1-0 cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hart well out in front of that Benoit offering. One bounced in there, 2-1. As the wind's blowing slightly out to left field this afternoon, Mount Pleasant has a turf field. As that ball is going to be lifted into shallow left field. Green comes in, makes the grab for out number 1. And then I'll bring up the third baseman, Aiden Tranholt. Tranholt singled and then was tagged out at third base. Actually got in a rundown trying to score back in the second inning on the one-out double by Ollie Trimble. Tranholt takes a strike, 0-1. Coach Martinez trying to light some fire under his team from the dugout. The 0-1 will be fouled back. Benoit now ahead no balls, 2 strikes. As Tranholt bats here with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. New Diana leads Harmony 6-4. As Tranholt cuts and misses. Ball did hit the ground, so fire it down to Foreman at first to complete the strikeout. So that'll bring up the pitcher, Ollie Trimble. Trimble doubled his last time. A 2 RBI double. As the freshman takes inside, ball 1. The 1-0. Going to be lined just past the diving shortstop for Trimble's second hit of the ball game off Benoit. And with 2 outs, Harmony has a man on. And it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Braden Phillips. Phillips struck out his first time. Looks down at Coach Whitworth at third base. Has his marching orders. Steps in. Kearns is even with the bag at third. As Phillips takes strike 1. No balls and a strike. Very impressed with the freshman, Ollie Trimble. Young man 2 for 2. He's thrown 60 pitches thus far as Phillips is going to foul that one back. Has allowed 6 runs, 5 of which have been earned, but still been a good performance. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's Benoit kicks and fires, cut on and missed, strike 3. So that'll retire the Harmony Eagles in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-out single by Trimble doesn't do any damage. Going to the top of the 5th, your score, New Diana 6, Harmony 4. As we begin the top of the 5th inning, New Diana will be led off by their third baseman, Austin Kearns. We do have a new pitcher on the mound for Harmony. It's going to be number 14, Landon Wilkerson. See who Wilkerson's replacement is over at first base. Looks like it's going to be number 6, Riley Patterson. So Trimble moves to second base as Wilkerson starts Kearns with a fastball. 0-1. The 0-1. It's going to hit Kearns. So the Eagles will have the leadoff man on for the 3rd consecutive inning. As Wilkerson pitches from the left side, another big young man. Probably 6'3", maybe 250, 260. As Elliot Foreman steps in. As the umpire holds his hand up for time, Wilkerson was set, so he steps off and will reset. Wilkerson floats one in there for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Final line on Ollie Trimble. Went 4 innings through 60 pitches to 21 Eagle hitters. As that ball's actually going to be behind Foreman. Baker's able to get a glove on it, but not able to knock it down enough to keep Kearns from taking second base on the wild pitch. So with nobody out here in the top of the 5th, New Diana has a man in scoring position with a 2-0 count on Foreman. We'll get back to Trimble's stats. It's Thomas, because Kearns takes off. He's going to steal third base. As he must have seen something there as he immediately took off. And he was gone. Baker was going to try to throw it, but the ball slid out of the back of his hand. Foreman did take a strike to allow Kearns to make it to third. The 2-1 to Foreman. It's going to be lifted out into right field. Right fielder initially came in, now had to back up. Kearns will tag. Throw will come home, but not nearly in time as the Eagles have scratched across. Another run now leads 7-4, courtesy of the RBI sacrifice fly by Elliott Foreman. So with one out, that'll bring up center fielder Cole Sherman. First pitch to Sherman. Be fouled back. 0-1. Wilkerson seems to be throwing about the same speed as Trimble. which I would most closely resemble it to batting practice speed. So that's going to be a hard hit ground ball. It's going to go under the glove of Tranholt. We're going to give Sherman a hit on that, be the third hit of the game, as the ball was absolutely sharply hit, and Tranholt wasn't able to field it. We give the benefit of the doubt to our hitters here on the Eagle broadcast. So to bring up Peyton Brewer, as we have a pickoff attempt, Sherman's back in time. Brewer's 0 for 1, went down on strikes in the last inning. I was also walked and scored a run back in the third. The Eagles' 4-run third. As Baker tries another back pick there, but Sherman's back in plenty of time. 2 balls and no strikes. 1 ball and no strike. The 1-0. Cut on and missed by Brewer. Even the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. In preseason rankings, which are often based off of last year's results, and last year the Harmony Eagles, I believe, made it to round 4, possibly 5. I'd have to go back and check, but did have a deep run in the playoffs. That's going to be outside for ball 3, as Baker shows his disgust from the backstop position there. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out on Peyton Brewer. The Harmony Eagles, were ranked 9th in preseason rankings. As Sherman may be picked off, it's going to be safe. Great slide again there, good hustle. As he took off on first movement, Wilkerson fired the ball to first base, but first baseman Patterson wasn't able to get it to Sehorn in time, and the Eagles have another man in scoring position. So it'll be a stolen base for Sherman. As Wilkerson floats that one well outside. 3 balls and a strike now. The 3-1. Cut on and missed. Strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. See if Brewer can put it in play here. Get Sherman at least over to third base. The 3-2 is going to miss inside. Ball 4. That'll bring up Ivan Benoit, starting pitcher for the New Diana Eagles. Back to the final line on Ollie Trimble, who started the game, freshman from Harmony. 4 innings pitched, faced 21 Eagle hitters through 60 pitches. 1 K, 2 walks, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 of which were earned. As Wilkerson's high there, ball 1. As Benoit will bat with Brewer on first, Sherman on second. 1 out, top of the 5th. New Diana leads 7-4. Ball's going to be fouled out of play down the third base line. Even the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. To the lefty Benoit. It's lefty on lefty matchup here. As Wilkerson kicks and fires, Sherman takes off. Ball's going to be over Benoit's head. Sherman's going to be safe, as the throw from Baker was high. Good throw, probably gets him, but had to pull Tranholt quite a bit off the bag and up in the air, and Sherman was able to slide in. So Benoit now has 2 men in scoring position at second and third. 2-1's your count. It's going to foul that one back. Even it up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like we said, it's a turf field here in Mount Pleasant. We'll have a throw over to third base. It's going to go all the way to the screen as Sherman's going to get up. Brewer's going to make it to third, and Sherman will score easily on the error by the pitcher. Eagles now lead 8-4 in the top of the fifth. Is that curveball going to float in high? 3 balls and 2 strikes on Benoit as Harmony brings their infield in on the grass. Looking to cut the run down at home. That's going to be ball 4. So we're going to have a mound visit from Coach Whitworth here. As New Diana will have runners at the corners. It'll bring up Levi Green. Looks like Hawley will come out and run for Benoit. So with 1 out, I imagine the Harmony Eagles will play their middle infield at double play depth, hoping to get the double play ball. As Coach Whitworth has finished his mound visit, heads back to the dugout. New Diana leads 8-4, top of the fifth. 1 out, runners on the corners. Green at bat. Levi is 2 for 2 as a single and a double and an RBI. Also scored a run as Hawley takes off. Good bunt there by Green, just foul down the third baseline, though. Tranholt did a good job to cut it off. Looked like it might have been coming back fair. So no balls and a strike on Green. Tranholt is now in on the grass at third. As Green checks his swing, he's going to take a strike. A little bit of disbelief there by the freshman. See, adjusts his helmet and steps back in. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Wilkerson kicks, fires. It's going to be a slow roller, first base side. Going to be Wilkerson trying to cover the bag, but not able to do it. Harmony's going to take a break here, and that's going to allow Hawley to get to third base. So the Eagles will still have runners at the corners. It was a slow roller hit to the first baseman. Patterson, by the time he fielded it, Green was already past him, and Green outran Wilkerson to first base for an infield single. Third hit of the ball game for Green. Second RBI. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Hayden Thomas. Going to be a quick throw over, try to get Green. Nothing doing. Back in plenty of time. Thomas is 1 for 2. He's walked, stole a base, scored a run. Had a walk. As he takes outside, ball 1. 1-0. That Wilkerson offering is going to be cut on and missed. Strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. On the slow roller by Green after he had beat the ball out, Harmony forgot there were other runners on base, and alertly, Landon Hawley was able to take off to third base. As Thomas takes high. Ball 2. Wilkerson really struggling here to find the zone. As the Eagles have plated 3 runs this inning, lead 9-4 in the top of the fifth. The pitch is cut on and missed. 2-2 now on Thomas. Only out so far this inning was the RBI sac fly by Elliott Foreman. The 2-2. Misses. Ball 3. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Green takes his lead away from first, Holly away from third. The 3-2 is going to be fouled back as Green took off for second. This will be Thomas's 7th pitch of the at-bat as the umpire walks the baseball out to Wilkerson. Wind has now shifted a little bit, appears to be blowing almost directly out to center field, maybe right center field. The payoff again. It's going to be ball 4 high. So New Diana will load the bases here in the top of the 5th as Thomas walks for the second time this game. And Simmons comes up. Logan's 2 for 3, a couple of RBI singles, scored a run, and also stole a base. Bats here in the top half of the 5th. Bases loaded. First pitch swinging is going to pop it up on the infield. Umpire calls infield fly rule, and Wilkerson has to make an athletic play to catch the baseball. With 2 outs. That'll bring up the ETBU commit, Jacob Newland, as Simmons passes a couple of words to Newland. Stands on the edge of the batter's box, adjusts his batting gloves, rubs his hands on his pants, and slaps his hands together. Steps in now. Bats with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Well outside. Baker fakes a back pick down there to first base. Trying to have Thomas see deja vu down there. Ball 1. As Newland represents the 9th man to come to the plate in this inning for the Eagles. It's going to be lifted out into left field. Phillips giving chase off his glove all the way to the wall. That's going to score 2 as Newland rounds first, headed into second with a stand-up double. Was a tough play as Phillips was moving back to his left, and as he went up to try to make the catch on the run, it just glanced off his glove as he was about 10 feet in front of the wall. It was a very well-struck ball there by Newland. So Newland with his second hit of the ball game. As Holly and Green both come in to score. Thomas moves up to third. And Trent Pepper will come in and run for Newland out at second base. And that'll bring up the Eagle third baseman, Austin Kearns. Kearns was hit by a pitch earlier in this inning. That's what got this rally started. There's a little bit of a sympathy strike there by the home plate umpires, high and outside, but called a strike. As we're still here in the top of the 5th, Eagles are batting with 2 outs. Lead Harmony 11-4 as Wilkerson is floating the baseball in there now. Almost no velocity at all on the ball. The 1-1. It's going to be hit hard out to center field. Tittle moves. It's gone. Home run. Straightaway center field by Austin Kearns. That ball just carried all the way out to dead center field for a 3-run bomb by the Eagle third baseman. Second home run of the year by Kearns. And the Eagles lead 14-4. As they have exploded for 8 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. And Elliott Foreman will step up with nobody on and 2 outs. I mentioned earlier the ball is just carrying here at Mount Pleasant. As that ball's going to be hit out to right field. Right fielder's giving chase. It's going to fall in front of him. So Elliott Foreman will be on with a 2-out single. That is the 5th hit for the Eagles this inning, as we'll have another mound visit here by Coach Whitworth. Looks like we'll have a pitching change, so we'll take a quick break and be back with you. New pitcher on the mound for Harmony is going to be number 18, Jake Ryder. Ryder is a right-handed pitcher. That'll bring up Cole Sherman. Sherman is 3 for 3 today, scored a couple of runs, stole 2 bases. So he takes a ball off the outside corner, 1-0. Eagle Bats have exploded this inning for 8 runs on 5 hits. Lead Harmony in the top of the 5th, 14-4. As Elliott Foreman takes his lead away from first after a 2-out single, and Sherman's going to ground that one past the bag at third, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 1-1. Cut on and miss, strike 2. Ryder does throw a little bit harder than Trimble and Wilkerson both. The umpire lets everyone know the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Sherman. Ball low. Another back pick attempt by Baker. Foreman's back in time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. Hit down the third baseline. New third baseman Ollie Trimble is able to knock it down, but not able to get Sherman. Was hit down the line. Not exceptionally sharp, but bounced off the heel of Trimble's glove. We're going to give Sherman his 4th hit of the ballgame. Baker calls timeout, go out and talk to Ryder, and Peyton Brewer will step in. Brewer's 0 for 1, walked twice, went down on a strike, scored 2 runs, also stole a base. Bats here in the top of the 5th. New Diana has runners on first and second. It's been a marathon inning for the New Diana Eagles as Brewer files that one back to the screen. No balls and a strike. Brewer is the 13th man to come to the plate for the Eagles this inning. The 0-1. Off-speed pitch. Cut on and miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Brewer seems like he may be having trouble recognizing that off-speed pitch. Well out in front of it. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Foreman leaps to go to third base. The ball's going to bounce, dribble just away from Baker. One ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So that's going to retire the New Diana Eagles at the top of the 5th, but not before they push across 8 runs on 5 hits. 1 error, 2 men left. Going to the bottom of the 5th, your score, New Diana 14, Harmony 4. Eagles in their warm-up quickly here in the bottom of the fifth as they lead Harmony 14-4. As Ivan Benoit comes out to begin his fifth inning of work. Harmony will be back to the top of the lineup, led off by their shortstop, Boston Seahorn. Seahorn's 1 for 2, lined out to the pitcher his first time. Hard hit ground ball to Simmons. Simmons fields it, fires low, one hopper to Foreman, able to corral it for the first out of the inning. One pitch, one out. This would be it here if the Eagles are able to hold Harmony scoreless, as the mercy rule would be in effect. I believe we're getting close to time anyway, but as Tucker Tittle takes the ball outside. Tittle's 1 for 2, scored a run, stole a base back in the third. Also flew out to Brewer in right field his first time. The 1-0. It's high, 2 balls, no strikes. As Tittle holds his hand up for time. And Benoit delivers. Misses. Counts quickly, 3 balls and no strikes. It's Harmony trying to get a runner on here. It's important to pitch with the lead. Throw a lot of strikes. Let them hit the baseball. So it's going to be ball 4 low. And I'll bring up the second baseman, Riley Patterson. As Patterson looks down to get his signs from Coach Whitworth. Bats here in the bottom of the fifth. New Diana leads Harmony 14-4. They have 1 out, runner on. There's a strike on the inner half. No balls and a strike. The 0-1. Going to be lined down the third base line. Foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Patterson. As Benoit checks the runner at first. Patterson fouls that one back here behind the press box. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Misses. 2-2. Excuse me, that was the 1-2. It's going to be ball 2 outside. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Just need some strikes from the Eagle hurler. The 2-2 misses high and away. Ball 3. It's going to fill it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is part of what these games are for. Sometimes you'll have games like this that are big blowouts, but then you got to come out and you got to throw a lot of strikes. You got to play with a lead. The 3-2 misses. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks for Benoit. That'll bring up the catcher, Braxton Baker. Baker steps into the box. 1 out, bottom of the fifth. Harmony has runners on first and second. It's going to be popped up on the infield. Third baseman, Austin Kearns, sets up underneath it, makes the grab. That'll be a quick second out for Benoit as he retires Baker on the pop out. That'll bring up the first baseman, lefty Landon Wilkerson. Landon Ferguson played for Diana about 4 years ago. First pitch from Benoit. There's a strike. That a way to work ahead, young man. No balls and a strike. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Harmony has runners on first and second for a couple of walks. It's going to be a ground ball. Second baseman's going to hit the runner. He's going to be out. And that should be your ball game. And it will be. And your Eagles are victorious in 5 as they defeat the Harmony Eagles 14-4.